zombies, machine guns, crop tops, and rock music. Welcome to Hunter: The Reckoning Wayward, a 2003 hack-and-slash shooter developed by High Voltage Software and published by Vivendi Universal Games for the PlayStation 2. Based on the tabletop RPG with the same title, it is a sequel to the 2002 video game Hunter: The Reckoning, which was released for Xbox and GameCube only. So why didn't I play that one first? Because I'm stupid. It doesn't matter though, since Wayward is pretty much the same experience as the original game, with some minor improvements and additions. If you've ever played Diablo or Gauntlet, you'll feel right at home, since Wayward combines hack and slash and twin-stick shooter action with that classic millennial edge. Let's dive deeper into it and explore the dark world that Hunter: The Reckoning Wayward offers. Let's be honest here, you're not gonna play this game for its story. It's basic, it's formulaic, it's just a vehicle for the action. Our adventure takes place in the town of Ashcroft, which is full of zombies, ghouls, ghosts, skeletons, and other creepy little monsters. So spooky! Thankfully though, a diverse cast of hunters has arrived, ready to kill everything on sight. Turns out that an all-female cult led by a witch is behind all of this, with their ultimate goal being to perform a ritual to summon an ancient spirit from the Shadowlands. No, not those. And yeah, that's the entire premise. It is as simple as it can get. It makes sense. When you're making a Gauntlet clone, you just wanna have fun with your friends, slaying zombies and stuff. You don't care about delving deep into an involved cinematic plot. However, I will give Wayward props for creating an intense horror atmosphere, making you feel like you're in a dark place where everything has gone to shit. It's not a scary game by any means, but it's atmospheric and intriguing despite its arcade nature. Let's talk about Wayward's graphics. Do you like the color brown? What about the color gray? Scratch that, do you just fucking hate colors in general? Great, then this is the game for you. Granted, you're not exactly exploring the most vibrant landscapes out there. Cemeteries, underground stations, crypts, and ruined cities are the key environments you're gonna go through during this horror tour. But damn, they look depressing. Colors are extremely muted, and everything is grainy with a thick layer of fog and darkness enveloping your surroundings. I get it, it's to build atmosphere and a sense of dread, and it does a good job at that, but would it be that bad to add some colors? I mean, look at Van Helsing or Devil May Cry. Those games manage to create dark and foreboding environments without resorting to a monochromatic color scheme. And even looking past the levels themselves, the game just looks ugly in general. Textures are being repeated ad nauseum and the models are incredibly basic, even in cutscenes. Just take a look at this. Does this look like a PS2 game to you? It's fine though, I completely understand. It was only 2003 and the PS2 had no games including horror elements with high graphical fidelity. What about the music? It's fine, nothing worth talking about. You'll spend most of your time either in silence or listening to some basic ambient loops. When the action heats up though, you'll get treated to some badass generic rock tracks, perfect for my midlife crisis. Oh well, what can you do? Wayward is a product of its time. It's not the prettiest game out there, but it gets the job done and manages to pull you into its world of horror, darkness, and extreme edge. Hunter: The Reckoning Wayward has been defined as a hack-and-slash third-person shooter. Sure, the game is inspired by both those genres, but at the end of the day though, we are looking at the Gauntlet clone more so than a Diablo clone. You can choose between 4 classes, each one having its unique skills, stats, and weapons, while more classes get added as you progress through the game. I'm sorry, they're not classes, they're called creeds in this game, and the naming conventions only get worse from here. You got the Avenger, who can tank and deal a lot of damage, but is painfully slow. The Defender, a great jack-of-all-trades kind of character with average stats. The Judge, basically the mage of the group, but sucks on his own. And finally, the Martyr, that also kind of sucks, but at least can run like hell. At the beginning of each level, you can select any character you want, which is great if you like mixing things up, and a second player can also join for some co-op action, which is a step down compared to the original but supported 4-player co-op. Entering the fray, you can do basic, combo, and charge attacks with your melee weapons, roll or jump to dodge attacks, and shoot with a variety of different weapons that you can find scattered across the level. Although the controls have been improved compared to the first game, they still feel floaty and a bit unresponsive. You can only dodge sideways, and you can only strafe when you're aiming with the right analog stick, otherwise you move just like in any standard third-person game. Aiming isn't very smooth either, as you can only aim in the 4 cardinal directions, with some hefty auto-aim to compensate, which doesn't always work as advertised. When it comes to switching weapons, you press the circle button to cycle through them, and then the X button to select them, which takes ages to do and feels very unresponsive. What happened to the D-pad? Why choose such a convoluted control scheme? The game even tells you that you can only roll after attacking twice, which is crazy, and thankfully a lie, because you can roll anytime you want while strafing. Imagine playing Elden Ring and being able to dodge only after attacking 2 times in a row. It boggles the mind why they did this. But besides your normal weapons, you have magic spells that you can do, which are called edges, and they use up your conviction. Yep, these are the terms they chose. 2003 folks. Unfortunately though, just like in real life, I didn't get much use out of edges. Maybe they work better supportively when you're doing co-op. Otherwise, they're fairly useless. And speaking of co-op, you're gonna want to play this game with a friend if you don't want to pull your hair out. Sadly, I don't have any friends or hair, so I paid the ultimate price. Enemies are constantly spawning and swarming you from every conceivable area of a level without ever stopping. Seriously, they never stop spawning. For most of the game, I was just running around, avoiding as many monsters as I could, because they would just respawn immediately and leave me without any ammo. Now, if the game was all about slaying monsters and getting loot, I'd be all for it, but the mission goals are so asinine, they drag the experience down to the depths of hell. You'll just be roaming around the level, destroying trash cans and mailboxes to find hidden tapes and CDs that the hunters need. Exciting? It gets even better with boss battles that are pretty much impossible to complete gracefully, and multiple escort missions, trying to save useless bums that can barely fight and would only follow you after all enemies are defeated. So every 30 seconds or so, you'll have to kill at least 20 monsters so you can be able to move 2 feet before they respawn again. Game studios, here is a hot and revolutionary tip for you. Don't do escort missions, they're horrible and no one wants them. Every time you make an escort mission, Satan kicks a baby over a cliff. Just don't do it, please. It's such a shame, because Wayward's gameplay is pretty solid, despite its lack of polish. Killing monsters is fun, and there are plenty of secret items and bonus unlockables to find, while you can also rescue random citizens to earn extra continues. The game is also non-linear, allowing you to visit previous areas or choose to complete your goals in whichever order you prefer. If only the missions themselves weren't so frustrating to begin with. Under the Reckoning, Wayward left me with some mixed feelings. On the one hand, I enjoyed the gameplay, the atmosphere, and the simple arcade action of just shooting zombies and skeletons over and over. On the other hand though, the presentation was lacking, the controls were clunky, and the difficulty was too frustrating for solo play. Despite its unpolished nature, I'd recommend it for a playthrough. Don't forget to bring a friend along though too, they'll make the experience much more enjoyable and tolerable, even during the horrible escort missions. And that's all I had to say about Hunter, the Reckoning, Wayward. Sounds like a random assortment of words, doesn't it? Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more stuff. You know how it goes. Have a great day, and until next time, take care and have fun.